Welcome to the first episode of the Format Compendium Research Project. I'm Reno St. John. I'm happy to have you here. And let's go see what we can find today. I've got no direction at the moment, so right now I'm favoring looking at all the floor mats on Bluesky and making sure that I have all of their entries peak. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. We tab over from stats and you can see all of the entries that I have so far. Some of them aren't formats, some of them are, some of them I'm trying to classify in different ways. We're going to see how all of this works in the long term. It's a work in progress. It's a living document. It's the history of our game. It's a lot of things. But I hope you find it interesting. And away we go. We're just going to scroll a little bit and see what comes up first. Do. Wait, did I scroll past Clover? I did. Is Clover complete? Clover is not complete. That's what the blue box means. It means that every entry to the right on this spreadsheet has been completed. So we're going to go through what we know, and then as needed, we will research the topic. And this is how we do it. So Clover is a constructed build. You build a deck for it, quite obviously. And insofar as you build a deck for it, that's a format. It's a way to play the game that is distinct and different and has its own rule set. So we're gonna see what's going down. Active, popular, and presence. This is where I note how big the community is, how active it is, how old it is, in real shorthand, real concise language. So I'm also able to, as you can see down on Cube, do more than one. So it is active. I know that for a fact. It is popular insofar as that people are there and playing the game. It has a Discord. I have a Discord link here. I'm happy to share Discord links for formats that have checked in with me and they want to grow their size, their membership. That is a goal of a lot of formats, but some are content. Some are fine being closed off and they have all they need. And I respect that. You play your game the way you want to play it. Let's see. I don't know if Clover has a site, so let's go see if we have a site. Yeah, that's lucky Clover. Okay. Hey, there's a post on free magic. All right. That's not bad. What else do we have? Ooh, there's a TikTok. Okay, well, we'll check that out in a minute. That's fun. Might not let me play it because, TikTok. Oh, let's see. Getting lucky with the Teamer Clover. No, I think that's about it unless we go to Clover on Bluesky, which is what we will do. I am very active on Bluesky. Please engage me there about your format. I would love to hear about it. So yeah, Amanda, she's one of the Rules Roundtable members. Let's see. Ooh, they're at Shoebox. Shoebox is such a cool event. Let me highlight this for a second. Look at that. We got Horde. You could learn to play Pauper. Wizard's Tower. I know what all these are. These are all really cool formats. Pendragon. Dude, Pendragon's got 2 tables. Look at them coming up in the world. Love to see it. Clover's got 2 tables. There's a whole world out here, folks, and I want you to see it with me. It's really fun. Look at that. They got Dan and Oathbreaker. Value Vintage is, as the kids say, popping off. Probably should go check it out sometime. $30 Value Vintage is the name I keep hearing, and it's in the compendium. Ooh, the party box. The party box is a wild time. All right, let's see. We're still no closer to finding website. We're getting sidetracked. But we are going to get sidetracked. That is part of what we're doing here. If I haven't been commissioned on some research, if nobody's so much as dropped $1, then we just research whatever I want to do, and I do it at the pace I want to do it, and it's up to you people to sift through these knowledge dumps for all the information that you want as I post it to YouTube. But you're welcome to get up on my Ko-Fi. You can find that through my Linktree, which is the QR code on my notebook down there. And there you can, just like a piano bar, you can put $1 down or more, and you can tell me what format you want to see. And as long as I have somebody that's paid me $1 or more, I'm going to research that format and not get sidetracked, and chug along the best I can. Let's see. So I don't think there is a site. They do have a link tree, though. A link tree is a lot like a site. And quite honestly, I think we're going to allow that as a site entry in the compendium. And before we go too much further, let's go all the way down the list of things we need to find. There is no site listed, so put that in the sites. We'll go back to the front, Clover, and note that they have a site and that they are not abandoned. There are formats that are abandoned. Abandoned formats are going to make it into the compendium because this is also a historical documentation of where we've been. Those abandoned formats can generally have ideas that are interesting, useful, hopefully. You know, people find that interesting and useful. Some formats are kind of lost to time, and that's when I don't find a complete rule set, when the research hits a dead end, I mark it as time lost, and maybe we'll come back to it, especially if somebody needs me to. We'll dive deeper, we'll get a little bit more focused, but gotta move on at some point. So in Clover, I'm pretty sure that you play in pods of 4, but I don't know if that's the minimum, because if the minimum says 2 players, that's going to be 1v1. That's going to be 2 people squaring off. So let's see. There's Discord server, we've got their profile, we've got join the Clover format on Bluesky. And then, oh, you can email them. Okay, that's good. That's nice. Okay. I'm going to say that it can be 2 players because I know a little bit of something about how it goes, and I don't see any reason why you couldn't. All right, the library for Clover is individual libraries. Everybody brings their own. There is no host deck because there is no shared element. Their deck is 60. It is uncommons only, and we can spell that right because we're smart. Okay, legal sets, rotations, restrictions. Clover is an eternal format. Boom. And of course that means that new sets rotate in, but cards never rotate out. All right, so we've got a Singleton. Yep, yep, that's right. You get 1 4 of set CMC 3 or more. Table types. All right, this is where you can find Clover being played. So, Clover is, at its heart, a kitchen casual format, meaning they want you to play in small pods, either at home or at an LGS, but generally speaking, at home. On camera, via webcam, on spell table, or Convoke, or you can use like the Moxfield playtester. That works too. So you could also play it at the LGS, like I said, but I'm not sure that they are at that point yet where you can just kind of go into your local game store and sit down and expect somebody to have a Clover deck. So we don't click it for that. Then we've got sanctioned competitive and unsanctioned competitive. Typically, independent formats, small formats like Clover, um, they don't get sanctioned competitive play because that involves going up to a rules enforcement level that involves, you know, an actual tournament taking place. But unsanctioned competitive is a different story. Like I said, we ran across these indie format showcases at Shoebox, and Clover is there 2 to 6 p.m., which is awesome. So, yeah. Oh, and Saturday, they've got 2 whole days that they're there doing things. I'm going to call it unsanctioned competitive, but it borders. You expect there to be a certain amount of these are the rules, this is how they're enforced in the format, but it is casual. There's certainly not going to be any prize support or actual real tournament play. Or if there is, I mean, let me know. Let's see. Any table? Yeah. Yeah, we any table means that it's able to do digital, able to be adapted pretty much anywhere. Um, it also includes taking it on the go. Like if you want to do what's called a bar build, there's no tokens, there's no dice. You try to keep all the game accessories to a minimum. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I forget what I've got adaptable in here for. When I run across the entry that's got it, then we'll figure it out. Some of the stuff I am reacquainting myself with. There's a lot of information. You just can't store it all in one place in your brain. That's what spreadsheets are for. So, playability form factor. Where can you expect to play a form of this game? Well, it's not on Arena yet. It's not on MTGO. This is a paper game. And that means it exists in physical only. There's no official support for it. You either have the cards or you make facsimiles of the cards. I'm not going to explain the rest of these. They're pretty well self-explanatory. Other than Forum, people play Forum Magic, and that's pretty interesting. There doesn't have to be any cards images at all. You just name the cards, and even if you can't bring up the text, people know what they do. And you play poker like games, things like 3 card stud. See what the best perfect hand can be. Where the heck did Clover go? There we go. Okay. Seat configuration. This is the most common way you're going to find it. And that's in the 4-player pod. That's what the format was designed for, as far as I'm aware. But obviously, if I don't know better, I expect you to correct me. That's what comments are for. Ooh, just bumped the whole machine real hard. I hope everybody's okay. Yeah, I'm okay. All right. Bans and restricteds. As far as I know, there's no ban and restricted list. But I think that's going to have to involve me getting into their Discord, which I don't do on stream. So I'm going through their Discord. I'm going through the Clover rules. All right, their basic rules do not mention any bans or restricts. It looks to me like there are no bans or restrictions. There is no channel for that. Now I will share. No, I won't. I'm not going to share things unless I can shroud names. There's no reason for you, you find folks who run these formats to get inundated by people that aren't interested in playing games. So, there's no bans or restrictions. We keep moving right on down the list. Sideboard. There seems to be no sideboard. I have some nomenclature for this somewhere. Let's see. I think that's what we're going with. Not used or prohibited. Because if they don't mention a sideboard, then I'm going to assume that one could. We're going to denote no, we're not going to put that. Y'all don't need to know some things. Okay, the only thing that remains is when was it created? And that too we will find right here in their Discord, because I consider a Discord launch date to be a format creation date until the creator says something like, I had this in my brain for 10 years, and then I finally rattled it out yesterday. So that was August 31st, 2025. And with that, Clover gets a done flag. I promise that's not going to be a catchphrase. All right, so where do we go from here? I scrolled right past CATFIGHT. Yeah, you heard me right. CATFIGHT. That's a format. And it's a real interesting one. I ran into this one in Atlanta last year, and the creator showed it to me after a game of Oathbreaker, and I said, that's really cool. You are definitely going in the compendium. And he was like, what is that? And I was like, don't worry about it. So I don't think that CATFIGHT has a Discord. So while I'm not going to take away active, I'm going to take away popular. I don't know where the community is. If there is no community that's formed, then what are you going to do? I thought that he had a site, though. Let's see if we have a site. What we do have is we do have a dedicated Google Doc. Google Doc counts. We will capture that. And this is the best way that we can get our information. It's right here from a rules primer. So, is there any link to a Discord? No. Then we're going to keep this the way it is. Their main social link is not available. Oh, no, that's their Bluesky. So let's go drop this in links. Boom. Catfight official rules. And look at that. We can pull up the document details. And it was created on February 6th, 2025. Boom. Copy paste. Real easy to pull these pieces of information together. But aggregating them is, it's time consuming. I'm not going to say it's an art, but you got to go get it and you got to know where to start to go find it. We're going to snatch that. And we'll put their Bluesky page up as their main social link. Because if you want to have a game or talk to the creator, this is where they are. Ooh, look at that. Just a month ago, he's got a video up, Lorwyn Eclipsed. I'm not going to play it, but you're welcome to go find it here on Bluesky. Pretty cool. Oh, there it is. That's the cat right there. Good kitty. All right, so let's get back to our document. Where did we put that? We scroll away from that? Yeah, we scrolled away from that. Okay. Player minimum. Oh, this is a 1v1 format. That's how it's done. There's no pods. Individual libraries. Let's see. 40 card Singleton. Each deck. 9 card sideboard. Okay, so it's individual decks. We answered a couple questions there. There's no, whoops, Control C. There's no host deck. Nice. Okay. Player deck, 40 card Singleton minimum. So, just like continuous draft, boom, 40 card minimum. And then, let's see, in card inclusion is where we put that it's Singleton. Singleton, and each deck can only contain non-creature cards of CMC 1 and lands. Okay. Singleton. see, 1. And lands are always a given unless otherwise specified. Most of your formats use lands because it's fairly basic to the game. But not all of them. Some of them do all kinds of things with them lands. So, what else we got? Hey, you know what? Let's take a quick break. And let our friends know on Bluesky that we're live. Because that's part of the deal here. Is not only am I doing this for me, I'm doing this for everybody. And if you find me on Bluesky, you'll know when I'm doing this. You'll know when I'm on. And, you know, you can get your requests in. Or just get that passive knowledge drip and hang out. Let's see, letting our friends know that we are live. In fact, we're going to take a cool picture of what's going on here. Going to lean way back. And then click. The research show is live on Gerudo.com right now. Join me as I'm talking about all of the formats that call Bluesky home. We just completed the entry for @CLOVER. And we're doing @CATFIGHT. There, we'll keep updating as we keep moving through this. Let's make sure we get the sponsor's name right. And that is, of course, Gerudo.com, where I am live. And I am monitoring my chat with 0 spectators, but that's just fine. When you come on, I'll notice, and we'll talk. If you're a format creator and you're active on Discord, we can talk live if you'd like. I have no problem with that at all. We can partner up anytime on this show. Let's see. as well as doing the alt text for my picture here on Bluesky. That's important for people that are visually impaired or otherwise. There are apps that can read to them exactly what's in the picture, and as I understand it, it's pretty great for them. Or at least it's a whole lot better than not knowing what's going on. The turntable that I use for my Inner Sleeves radio show, comma, as well as a banner featuring Charizard. Yeah, that's right. I've got a cool banner. It features Charizard. Yes, it's exactly like the ones that they have in a game store near you. It's pretty awesome. I'm going to put a pith helmet on him, like with puffy paint or something. All right. Cool. So that's going to complete my first break from the research here. Making that cool post, letting people know that I'm live. Now, the other thing that I want to do, and that's going to happen on like the next post here, because I've also got lunch to eat. I'm going to figure out how to make it so that my Bluesky profile shows that I'm live on Twitch, but that Twitch shows that I am live on Gerudo. And hopefully that doesn't break TOS and I get yelled at. But if it doesn't, then, perfect. Like I said, I got some lunch to eat, so I'm going to have some of that right now. I tell you what, they're going to go crazy over by mukbang reel. It's going to be great. I'm going to have an entire playlist of what I'm eating and what it sounds like. There's probably more Foley artists in the world that would respect that than Magic players that are going to respect this. I'm just kidding. There's not a lot of Foley artists out there. There's a heck of a lot of Magic the Gathering players. All right, I stuffed my face for a moment. Let's get a little bit more catfight done. Legal sets, rotation, restriction. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like there's anything restricting it. So we call that eternal, folks. That's just the way it rolls. Card copy limits. It is Singleton. Oh, that reminds me, I definitely did something wrong there, right? No, I didn't. We did it right. Good job. Singleton for Clover, Singleton for Catfight. Table types. This one is most definitely kitchen casual for the moment. And digital. I believe you can play it 1v1 digital. I think that'd be fun content to have on Gerudo. To have cat fights just, sporadically popping up. Oh, hey, I have somebody in chat. Let's see. I missed the intro for Catfight. Is it a singleton? Yes. Yes, it most certainly is. All right. Catfight is most certainly a singleton format. It is 40 cards. Singleton minimum. Let's see. Can I enhance? Oh, yeah. Make that readable. Oh, it does both windows. That's funny. I'll have to remember that. Yeah. Cool. So where were we on Catfight's entries? Playability form factor. Let's see. You're going to find it basically in paper, whether it's digital or not. There are paper cards for Magic or for Catfight. Seating configuration. It's a head-to-head format, 1v1. There is no multiplayer around. It's not solo. Yep. Let's see. Bans, no restrictions. There are ban lists right here as of 10/29/25, and a watch list and a possibly watch list. Fair enough. Those are power. Honest work. Okay. I'm interested. What's honest work? Honest work. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that does kind of hose the cat fight down, doesn't it? Cats are certainly averse to an honest day's work. Oh, that's good. Yeah. You find these things out about formats over time, especially as you get more games in. So we have a ban list, but nothing restricted, which it is singleton. How you going to restrict it, right? Sometimes you think aloud and you make sure you get all of your details right that way. Now, we did see there was a sideboard. It's 9 cards. Bam. We've got the creator right there. We've got the date of creation, and we've got some documentation. And when the field turns blue, the entry is done. All right. So that makes 2 entries that we've completed here so far. That's good times. Let's check our stats since we've got somebody in the chats. This is where we're at right now with the whole format compendium project. I'll give you a moment to kind of absorb that while I take a hit of my taco salad. All right. But of course, feel free to ask questions or just chill out. We are idly researching things. If you have a request, though, you are Certainly welcome to get it in the chat. Yeah, dang is right. Yeah, it actually is listing your name, but I will fully admit that my problem is that I can't pronounce it. I have no idea how I'm supposed to say that on chat. Springer. Thank you. That makes sense. That's easy to do. And of course, if I miss the pronunciation after you went ahead and spelled it out for me, you'll let me know. Yeah, that's where we stand. We completed a couple formats and we're a little closer now. We were at 30. Now we're at 32. Every letter is silent. I like it. All right, so we're done with Catfight. Let's get down to another Bluesky format. What do you say, Springer? Do you have a Bluesky format that you'd like me to take a look at? If you need some help, I can get us a list of the 12 that I'm aware of. Of course, we're down by 2, so now there's only 10 left to do. All right, we can do that. Let's see, I think the right way is to actually search this way. What's the keyword gonna be? It's gonna be, we'll go Catfight. That should be good enough. Okay. No. Okay, there's another way I can do it. Because one of the tools I have is I've been working on a feed that automatically pulls things from Bluesky when they talk about formats in the right way. I think I've done it to myself here because I do use it for a little bit of self-advertisement. Oh, okay, I know where it's at. I know where it's at. Let's I took a picture, but I never posted it. That's the problem. Boom. That is our list with a few hashtags tied in there too. But we've got Arsenal, Pendragon, Clover, Tiny Leaders Reborn, Catfight, MTG Pocket, Leyline Highlander, or Leylander as they call themselves, uh, Pilot, Commander Sealed, which is getting pretty big, Pauper Commander, we've got Loyalty, and that's it. Pauper Commander. I like that. Okay, let's get this back up. Let's check in on some people here. Thank you, Red. Thank you, J-Ro. Appreciate y'all checking in on me. All right, we completed Catfight, and we've got all the deets, so we can turn that off. Let's see. New budget, only format commons. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I saw this. And their TikTok that I said that's cool. Yep. Okay. All right. So that's my idle research queue. Let's go and find some Pauper Commander. All right, there's an entry on the MTG wiki, which helps a lot. And then we've got the pEDH home base rules. So we're definitely going there. Then we've got a couple Reddit entries, which is nice. We'll check those out in a minute. Ooh, and a Commander's Herald entry. That's good times. And pEDH rec. Wow, yeah. Seems like they have a lot of resources, eh? That's good. That means a lot of people play it and a lot of people are having fun with it. So, yep, Commander template. Let's get started. Getting this one crammed into. Pauper Commander is going to be way down here somewhere. Pauper EDH is the entry that it's under. We will go ahead and we will change that. Because, well, let me think. Let me give this a quick think. While there are no appreciable differences anymore when it comes to distinguishing Commander and EDH, there are people who play an old school EDH, and technically speaking, the first iteration of EDH, if I'm not incorrect, has a slightly different rule set. And I think maybe the rule set was that you were limited to specifically the legends from the legends set that were Elder Dragons. So, eh, for now, I think we can treat them as the same, rather than making a separate entry for Pauper EDH and Pauper Commander. I don't think anybody's playing Pauper EDH specifically the way I've posited that it could be done. So, well. Yeah, give me a moment here. If we've got a video, I ain't trusting no AIs, but if we got a video, I'm interested. I think I'm splitting hairs though. What do you think, Springer? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But that is some of the problem with what I'm doing is we need to be as precise as we can as we go, or else we'll have to go back and amend many entries for the imperfections that we've created. Okay, so we will treat them as the same. We until somebody comes along and says, "Well, actually," and I'm good with that. So what I do in this case is I will take that, copy it. We will call it by the term that most people are calling it on the internet, seemingly. And then we will add a note. Oh, there we go. Insert note. We will put down Pauper EDH as well as pEDH because I saw that one too somewhere. Uh-oh, I see a well. I see a well in chat. You gonna give me the actually to go with it? That's what I thought. All right, so we're gonna go with those three terms, being a blanket under the or being under the blanket of Pauper Commander. It is a constructed format. It is what I call a conjoined format because it is Pauper and it is Commander. And if you know how Pauper works and you know how Commander works, it's basically a logical mashup of the two. So what happened here? There we go. Pauper Commander is totally active. Absolutely. It's popular. I can tell that there is a big community around it. Discord. I would assume they have a Discord. I don't know that they have a Discord, but I do have a lot of Discords that I accumulated in the course of getting this all together. But it doesn't look like I specifically have a Pauper Commander. Even though I'm sure I can find their communities in like Draft Sim and Shoebox. Home Base has one. Many Discord, yeah. Many Discord is real. So when this happens, when a format or a conjoined format in this case has a ubiquitous sort of it's almost everywhere presence, there's no one community for it anymore. It's made many little satellite communities. It's still popular. We just don't list the Discord because there's nowhere that you can just go and get it straight from the horse's mouth, the primary source. This is what the format is. Do they have a site though? It seemed like we found a couple of sites, and I'm pretty much willing to treat their wiki entry as a site. That's more or less you have arrived. However, like you said, we have home base here, which was one of the links we clinked. Clinking links. Comprehensive rules document, ban list, yeah. It's really nice when you can put a site together for your format, but you certainly don't have to. So let's see if we do have a primary source. We've got a rules committee. We've got an advisory group. That's how you know you're really going. Ooh, and a Scryfall team. Dude, yeah. Format's arrived if you've got that many people managing you. Pauper EDH timeline. What does that mean? Oh. Ooh, I like this. Heavy Stone Crab creates the unofficial Pauper Commander thread on MTG Salvation at the time. The largest, yeah, okay. Wow. Second attempt to standardize the rules in August. So August 2012 is when Pauper Commander was born. That's pretty darn cool. That is one of the things we look for. I put it all the way back here because usually it's one of the more hidden elements, but we're definitely going with it. And we'll be using home base. It looks like for their website, because anybody that's got a site that's that good, they've earned it. Pretty good site. So we did mention, okay, yeah. They've got a competitive guide as well. That's pretty snazzy. And they're global. Don't think I missed that. The flag's at the bottom. That's worldwide's a big thing. Let's see. Competitive YouTube channel, podcast. Okay, okay, but no specific Discord. So we're good there. Ooh, excuse me. People will find what they want from where we listed it. Now, I missed it. The creator was right there. On the timeline. Heavy stone crab. We're going with it. Heavy stone crab is going to be the creator. Yeah, I mean, that's what they want to go by. I'm good with that. They used to share the site with the Pauper dual commander format, but had to split recently. That's interesting. That's a cool little tidbit of knowledge. I certainly hope it was an amicable split. Let's see. Yeah, and then it's probably noteworthy to say here that ASO is also a founder because his rule set was the one that was adopted. And while Heavy Stone Crab did the heavy stone lifting, ASO brought it home. Yeah, functioning differently and then yeah, independent ban lists. Yeah, I mean, sometimes a format splits. Sometimes, what was similar is no longer, and it's time to grow up, time to move out. That's how these things go. And it's growth, and it's beautiful when it happens amicably. Whoops. So there we go. We've got our creators and our date and our site. So let's go back to the front and see where we left off in the queue. Okay, so no Discord, but we've got a site. The format was never abandoned, and I don't have to mark that I couldn't find information on it. Discord is in the footer. Oh, yeah, it is. That's a little out of the way, but you know what? I'm glad you said so. They've also got a Facebook group. So typically, at least until Discord does their implosion that they're threatening to do here, I consider Discord to be the community. When Discord collapses, well, maybe we go to Reddit. Maybe that'll be the default for me. Yeah, I sure didn't have that Discord. I will take that link. Heck yeah. I am a fervent collector of formats. So, Pauper Commander. Let's double check how they do. 30 starting life, 16 commander damage. Let's go to their comp rules. Ooh. Yeah. You know it's serious when they start using the Dewey Decimal System like in the real comp rules. Because somebody gave this a lot of thought and they were a judge. This is something. Each deck is led. Yeah. Maybe a two-player game or multiplayer game. The default setup is free for all. Okay, great. So we will set that the player minimum is 2 and that the maximum is 4, since that is typical pod magic. Let's see. In Pauper Commander, you are expected to make your own individual deck. And each deck, let's go back to the fun format. Easy to read format. That's going to be 100 cards, just like the Commander template. Oh, that's a host deck. Whoops, there is no host deck. Host decks are only needed in formats where you have a host. Let's see, commons only. Okay, 1 uncommon, Commander. Does not need to be legendary. Cool, cool. Awesome that you can be a spacecraft in Pauper Commander. All right, legal sets. Seemed to me like this was an eternal format. I'm just going to put that in here for now. Gonna check on it real quick though. Eternal is not to be found in the comp rules. Okay, yeah. Just kind of skimming this as hard as I can for brevity, but yeah, it seems like there is no contradiction to my assumption that this is an eternal format. And of course, it is Singleton. But I feel like I missed a piece of data here somewhere. Because I do make a note when the commander template is present. Because I do want to be able to eventually take a look at every format that utilizes the commander template. And just kind of have the spreadsheet dump that information right out for me. Yeah, that's exactly right. There's a command zone. You're expected to be able to cast that card as though it were in your hand. It returns, everything that Commander has taught us that you can do with a card that has the Commander designation. Some formats tweak that just a little bit, and if they don't tweak it too hard, they can keep the Commander designation, the templating. But other formats stray from it just a little bit too hard, and it maybe isn't Commander anymore. As I say that, I am struggling to think what those examples might be, though. So we were on Pauper Commander. Yeah. So we'll put that in card copy limits. I don't know, that feels weird. I'll take a look at that later when we're not actually doing research. During the cleanup phase of this adventure. So, dude, this is a good question. I don't know exactly where it's being played, but it does seem like you can find these games pretty much everywhere. I just don't think they're having sanctioned competitive format tournaments. But I think everything else is pretty much applicable. Because I know you can play it on digital. Actually, we do these in order, if we can help it. So it's not sanctioned. Seems like enough people are playing it, though, that I bet they're having tournaments. So we'll go with that. Places where they actually want to enforce rules. It seems like there's probably some whole LGSs that enjoy it too. On the scale that we're at, there's got to be at least one out there. Mostly online comp and maybe in person at cons. That's interesting. I would have thought, well, yeah, let me take a look at one notion I had here. Maybe there is something that I saw earlier in the program. No, there's Learn to Play Pauper, but not specifically Pauper Commander. pEDH will be at Shoebox though. Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. And while I don't, of course, see it on their indie format showcases, yeah, just at free play, 100%. I know exactly how that goes. That's what I was doing for Pendragon at Atlanta. There was no structured anything. We just got with Wizards at the last minute through some contacts, and they were like, "We'll set you aside a table in the gathering grounds, and you guys can jam games there, no problem." And that's what I did. I chained myself to that table. No, I will not be at the shoebox. I would love to go sometime though. Um, the one event that I'm allowing myself this year, the hope of being able to attend is Atlanta again. And we'll see. Thankfully, it's ways a ways away in November. But Shoebox is great. I love what they do. This whole showcase on indie formats is awesome. It's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Give these people their flowers, give their formats a platform. Yeah, that's exactly what I would be doing if I went there, is checking out the indie formats. Like the Unfinity Cube, that is a dream of mine. I would love to put together some Unfinity. I think the attractions are hilarious. I think it's a fun game mode. Horde is just amazing. If you haven't had a horde game, I can't recommend trying that out more. It is possibly the only cooperative mode of Magic, and it's really fun to play that way. And yeah, I was just talking to somebody about Wizard's Tower. She put together a Wizard's Tower, and the point of it was all blue, and the point of it was to be the last person in the game by being the person who doesn't miss the draw from a shared deck. Yeah, I would live there all weekend and just be twirling. Always twirling and spinning, and it'd be great. But I've got work to do if I want to get there. Work in every direction. So we're not going to go with unsanctioned competitive because there's no events as such. But yeah, we'll go with kitchen casual and digital. People are certainly playing it at home. They're certainly playing it on cam. They're certainly playing it in LGSs. There's got to be a couple groups out there. I'm going to give them the LGS casual as well. Let's see, Pauper Commander. I don't believe it's on MTGO or Arena, but it wouldn't surprise me if it were on MTGO. I just don't know that much about the digital platforms. But it's not a forum game, it's not a PC game, and it's not regulated by Wizards Play Network. So it's definitely paper. And let's satisfy our other burning question. Is Pauper MTGO? We skipped right over that AI. I don't care what it has to say. MTGO now has a freeform commander option, so you can play Pauper EDH, Oathbreaker, Tiny Leaders, or Dual Commander. Neat. That is a Reddit post from 2 years ago. From 3 years ago. Oh, that's a sick burn down there at the bottom of the page. Ooh. All 3 Pauper Commander players will be ecstatic. I guess they'll finally be able to make a pod. Oh, man. Data's beautiful. Egg on that guy's face. It's certainly one of the more popular independent formats there is out there. That was a good laugh. I'm happy with how that went. So yeah, we're gonna say they're on MTGO. Let's see. Take a break real quick. See what's going on. Oh, thank you, Springer. See you got me on the Bluesky. That's good times. Got a couple likes. Thank you, Lucky. Yeah, good times. Close that down till we need it. We ain't here to look at my Bluesky account. So, was this the? No, that was. Yeah, that was the Salvation forums that had the original post. I was gonna say I found the original post. No. Ah, yes, yes. Cool. That's a nice resource. We're going to copy that resource. And even though we don't have the answer to that question for Pauper Commander, we're going to go over here and slide that link right in so that we can find it later. So that's the other thing we're doing, is aggregating site information. This is just the aggregation phase. Getting this data together in a format that can be presented, in a format that can be parsed. So we need to find the next piece. Commanders here, beginner guide. Yeah, good website. Yep. Got the rules, we got their site. And of course we've got this. Actually, let's reopen that. Make sure we got this done. Yeah, it's a multiplayer format. And it seems like people play it in the 4-player pod. But just like regular Commander, I don't see why you couldn't play it in the head-to-head. But that's not what this field is for. This field is, what was the format designed for? That's the 4-player pod. Let's see. Restrictions. I thought we saw some bans. Yes, we have a ban list. Perfect. No sideboard, as usual. Or as expected, I should say. Oh, and we got our blue box. That's Pauper Commander done. Good work. Go team. We can shut down these Pauper Commander resources. Let's go to the next one. That's right, another one in the can. We're making progress. That's how the teamwork does the dream work. Or something. That's a whole percentage point that we've accomplished today. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's another brick in the wall. Let's see. I think I saw that Pendragon wasn't completed. And that's kind of silly. Because Pendragon's basically the reason I got into Magic again. Thankfully, I think that means I'll be able to complete that entry without even having to sweat. Because I know it's a constructed format, it's active, popular, and has a Discord. Ooh, I've got it most of the way done. So what did I miss? Okay, Pauper with 1 mythic equipment, 1 legendary equipment. Singleton Commander. Kitchen Casual in paper with a 4-player pod is how it's meant to be done. Ban list. I wonder if that's where it was. Because when I was doing this one, they were having their competitive tournament at the end of the year, and we were wondering as a format at that point what the bans and restrictions were going to be as a result of that. And while there are no bans or restrictions that are official, I'm going to go ahead and say that there is a restricted list. And that was what I was missing. And I'm going to say that because there was one card that was absolutely disruptive in the tournament when it was your Arthur. And it was Crypt Rats. Crypt Rats, with I believe like Sword of the Animus, is able to just nuke the board over and over and over again. It just about made poor Joe Kilcar cry because of how unfun it was to play against. So, while it has not been made official, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's probably going to happen that the next time they have a competitive format interaction tournament of some kind, they're going to go ahead and say Crypt Rats should not be your Arthur. And that's good. That's healthy. You got to identify what is disruptive. You got to get it out of your format and move on with life. Keep those games fun. March 2023. Yeah. Those are good games. That was a good time in Atlanta. Yeah, let's do something else. We've got more formats to do. We could pull that picture up again, especially since that went so fast. Who knew that that's all we were missing? We'll start at the top. Do we got Arsenal? Arsenal's complete. Heck yeah. We've got Pendragon and Clover. Tiny Leaders Reborn. Yeah. I built a Tiny Leaders deck for the Reborn, not back when it was, and then got discontinued. Okay. Yeah, incomplete. Seems like it's mostly complete, though. Oh, no, 5 entries. 5 entries on the checksum. So, it is a constructed format. And maybe I'll put the commander template right here in with the format commander template right up front. That sounds pretty good. Is it a new rule set? I don't think it's so much that it's a new rule set. I believe that what they did was they took what was being an abandoned format that people considered was solved and decided to revive the community around it. But I don't know what they changed other than new leadership, revived leadership in order to make that an attractive format again. So we'll get into that. We definitely want to see what makes the difference there, because I mean you see Tiny Leaders right above it in the compendium here, and I don't know. There's things I don't know, and that's what we're here for. So I know it's active, and I know they are popular enough because they have a Discord, and they are playing games in their Discord. Yeah, a solved format means generally that people know exactly what the best decks are, and there's not much room to grow. I mean, I'm sure you knew that, but it happens. It happens in older school formats all the time because they aren't ever going to get new cards. Let's see. Is it Eternal? Yeah, it's Eternal. I'm pretty sure it's Eternal anyway. That's how I built my deck. which was J. Jonah Jameson, if you're curious. I don't know that they have a site, but I think they do. They have a blog post. That's kind of like a site. Yeah, it works for me. So let's go into that brief history, huh? Evolved from original Tiny Leaders. Developed by members of the French Magic community, Tiny Leaders are born. Emphasizes active metagame. Okay, yeah. By late 2017, concerns over format balance emerged due to the dominance of a deck known as Mono Blue High Tide. Shocker, High Tide. At a major event, 3 identical Burrell Chief of Compliance decks. Oh no. Oh, that sounds like bad times. Yeah. Uh-huh. So it was more a perception issue that the format was solved. Because I'm of the strong opinion that if you're having fun, the format isn't solved. But I get it. Some people are deck builders at their heart, and once they don't see any direction that's new to build, they're done. Huh. So yeah, it's state of the committee. Huh. Here we go. This could be interesting. So they mentioned the French community, but here we are. Okay, so hold on. When was this posted? Doesn't say yet. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. It is a lot more common than I care to think about that COVID was a major speed bump. And that's the real reason why there was Tiny Leaders Reborn. And they did change a ban list. Yeah, this is a great website. This is good stuff. And yeah, I've got the Discord, and we'll make sure that the link's there. Yeah, I've got their Discord. And they're playing right now, I think. Looks like there's a couple people in general. Heck yeah. Let's see. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 39. 607. Yeah, they've got quite a few people in their Discord. So yeah, that's why we have Tiny Leaders Reborn. And I think that answers a question here and gets us a little extra credit, is that Tiny Leaders as a format, maybe we can just delete that. It is the same format. It is simply evolved, and nobody is playing Tiny Leaders anymore. The only reason to include it in the compendium is to note that it is dead and gone. But it didn't die. It just grew up. Yeah, historic data is fun. This is what I enjoy about it. There's all kinds of interesting little things to learn all over the internet about these formats. And most people definitely do not have the time to take a look at it. They'd probably care if somebody just gave them a note card that said, hey, you like Pauper? This is what Pauper was. Or in this case, Tiny Leaders. But people are about chasing that fun, and I don't blame them. That's why we play this game. I think we will take out this Tiny Leaders line wholesale. And when I say that's extra credit, what I mean is when we go over to stats, that gives us a huge percent bump in what we've got done, because all I'm doing is dividing how many are complete by how many entries there are total, and we just lost an entry. So that's like 15 fields that are gone here, and we get a nice little bump. Feels good. So Tiny Leaders Reborn is a format that is active and popular and has a Discord, which I can copy the link here. Nope. We can try it again. No, that's what I needed to do, was click that link. There we go. If I was smarter, I could have got it on the right click. Wow, you are absolutely failing at this. Thank you. Good. Shout out to whoever decided we needed a function that would translate all on a website. So useful. Exactly what I signed up for Digital Age. Okay, so we need to take a look at the comp rules here and see what they say. Yeah, okay, it's the same page. Scaled down commander format for 1v1 play. Okay, straightforward. Tiny Leaders is 1v1. Can it be played in pods? Is it played in pods? Probably, maybe. I don't know. The only thing I see wrong with that is there's a lot of hate cards that you can pack in a deck at 3 CMC. So I don't know. But they are individual decks. There is no host deck. Player decks 50. Rarity restriction card inclusion. Yeah. So They are Singleton because it's Commander inspired, Commander template. So that's going to be yeah, it's just the CMC restriction. Three, yeah, all. Okay, legal sets, eternal. Singleton, Commander, Kitchen Casual, Digital. Well, I don't know, maybe I keep throwing that digital tag around. We might have to go back and look at that. I think that meant that you could play it on MTGO or Arena. Yeah, that's what that meant. So I need to make sure that that's correct. Kitchen Casual. Let's scroll through these here real quick. Digital, digital, no. Yes, we found Pauper Commander on MTGO. Legacy is on MTGO. No, I don't think that these are on MTGO. I'm willing to be wrong and correct it later. Clover's not digital. Yeah, gotta clean these tags up. I don't know. Nope, it's not. Okay, let's go back to Tiny Leaders Reborn. Okay. Okay, that's paper and paper only. It is a head-to-head format. It does have a ban list. It does not have a sideboard, as far as I can tell. I think we just say none. Yeah, we just say none. Okay, creator credit. That's going to be the fun one. That's usually one of the harder fields. But in 2013, Bramwell Tackaberry, joined a few months later by Stephen Hamonic, brings to life a new format called the Tiny Leaders. Ha ha ha. Cool. And we know it was in 2013. It would be nice to get a better date, but I don't hold it against him. Any date's better than no date. I can go back and try to get better dates later when I get fucking super famous, you know. Maybe I can get all these creators to show up and tell me about their formats. But that's another one done. That's Tiny Leaders Reborn. We are making strides. I'm going to take a little break here, stand up, get some big stretchies. We've been on almost 2 hours now. Normally, I plan on only doing this show for about 2 hours every other Saturday, but this Saturday is special. This is the first one. I'm just going to kind of chill out and keep working here until my wife says that she's tired of hearing my voice and wants me to do something constructive with my day. So I'm going to AFK for just a second. Be right back. Clearly, I can't get anything for the dog. Can I get anything for you, dear? Some more?
No.
Okay. Make a little Bluesky post for the next couple hours here. Let's see. We got Tiny Leaders, we got Pendragon, we got Pauper Commander. Yeah, that's the other one. So that's 5 of them done, I think, so far. There is no one pEDH person to link on Bluesky. I think I'm going to link pEDH RC Derek. All right, so let's go back to that picture and see who's next. Well, if we're just going in order, I think it's going to be MTG Pocket. All right. That's a new one on me. Yeah, that's a new one on everybody. Um, I ran across that one on Bluesky specifically. And as you can see, you could certainly follow their tag there on Bluesky and find them while we're doing this, and you can follow along with me. But that's where we're headed next. We're gonna see what MTG Pocket is all about. Man, this is cool. I need to cap this website real quick though. This Magicville is cool, but I didn't realize it was gonna have the entire history of Tiny Leaders. That is exactly what we are trying to preserve here. Okay. Pocket. Okay, well, image search looks like it got it for us. Well, let's start here. This is good enough. Boom. Pocket is a constructive format, and eternal, and 2 players. So let's see. It is active, but popular? I don't think so. Let's go check out their Bluesky, since that's what they linked there. Yeah, 8 followers, 1 following, 1 post, and it looks like one of those followers is brand new today. Possibly right when they posted, "That's a new one to me." Am I right, Springer? That's what they've posted, that's what they've got, and it looks largely unsupported. So I'm not saying that this is dead, but I have no idea what's going on here. And maybe it's done. I don't know. MTG Pocket at codeboundworlds.com. What is that? An email address? That's an email address. Huh. Okay, fuck it. You know what we're doing? We're popping up Gmail. Sometimes you gotta reach out. Hi. Go. Guards, get out of here. Let's send us an email. That's right. Hope it finds them well. Hey, they put it there, not me. If they didn't want an email, they wouldn't put an email. So we'll see if that dings their phone. And maybe if it dings their phone, they'll go, "What? Wait, I've got 8 followers. How did that happen?" And then we'll throw them a little party. And then maybe they'll be like, I've got a format. That's neat. So, not popular, but not abandoned. If the mail comes back undeliverable, then maybe we'll call it abandoned. But no Discord, no site, just an image. Okay. Player minimum 2, player maximum 2. Library source. Individuals, you make your own deck, build a deck with at least 20 cards. Player deck 20. Let's see what the rest of these meats and potatoes are. Oh, player deck is 30. It's one of them formats. Might be why it's dead. We'll see. Yeah, exactly 10. So that's a restriction. We need to note it precisely. So. Yeah, I think it's fair to call them spells. Because if you don't have lands in your deck, it's either cast or be cast in this game, right? Rarity restriction card inclusion. Seemed to me like there was no restriction. This was just a way to do the thing, so. I have to wonder if the author of this post is the person. Interesting. Oh, I like the way that link looks. Let's go find out. I'm opening it in a different window. What would happen if you apply Pokemon TCG pocket restrictions to Magic? I think you're right. I think this is the same person. Let's go see what Gaius Red has done with themselves. Doesn't look like they've been very active on this at all, if that's... Let's go back a little bit. There's one. I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of jabbing at it. Because, I mean, they're not wrong. Everything I've heard about Pokemon TCG Pocket, that's what they're doing here. I think that's the entire line of inspiration for making this thing. It's a good guess, though. You might not be wrong. So this is Doubleton. Okay. None. Eternal. Doubleton. Not Commander. Table types. Obviously, we're casual here. Yep. Seating config. Yep. Banned and restricted. No bans or restrictions, though. I do definitely agree with some of those forum posts. You need to take a look at what's going to happen when you start playing like this and people construct like this, because some of those games are going to go real fast. I mean, Doubleton with at least 20 cards. Come on. But I ain't here to say it ain't going to be fun, because it does sound like it's going to be fun. But you got to have the right game expectation going in. So no bans or restrictions, even though they maybe should. No sideboard. Creator credit. Now there's a good question. You almost nailed it there. You probably weren't wrong. So here it is on Wargamer. Wow, what happened here? Oh, this person confirmed it, that basically, yes, this is exactly what happened. That they posted that thing by Gaius Red, and the most high-powered, over-the-top format on steroids. That's funny. While it wouldn't work as written, it could be fun if given some more restrictions. Yeah. No, I agree. I think it needs more seasoning, but it might be worth cooking. The Reddit post about the same, about 4 minutes. Yeah, no kidding. You solved it then. Good work. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Gaius Red is what we got there. That's good enough for me. I wonder if I can get the exact timestamp on that. Probably not. So, born last year. If it says a year ago, it was probably February. And then they don't have a website, like, at all. All we've got is a forum post. Okay, did I miss something? Yes. Did I miss something else? Yes, they don't have a link. Well, Go with that. Did that calm it? Nope. There it is. There we go. Pocket's done. December 23rd, 2024. Over on the date. I should have thought of that. Should have thought of that. Like, I understand what Reddit's trying to do, but it's shorthanding something that just doesn't need to be shorthanded. Why are you doing this to me? I gotta do the whole thing, don't I? Probably be the best. Okay. Cool. That's another one in the can. Dude, that's wild though. That guy posted that image to Reddit, and apparently enough people, or this guy at least, saw it and decided, you know what? I need to do a whole write up on wargamer.com. Like, I don't know. I could almost see somebody being like, I want to launch my format, and so I'm going to go ahead and post like the teaser to the rule set on Reddit and make a quick account on Bluesky, but then I'm going to get on my Wargamer handle and I'm going to trash my own format. Christmas was somehow a slow news day. You might not be wrong. I mean, some people do not go home for Christmas, do not see the folks, do not pass go. They just don't truck with that. But it could be that he just scheduled his post for Christmas Eve, you know, figuring that people were going to be looking for something to read while they were avoiding their folks. So yeah, that's Pocket. Let's get the next one in. Moving right on down. Leyline Highlander. Let's go see some Leylander. Boom. Hey, that one's complete. That's because it's a fun format. We'll go over it real quick though, because this is going to get posted to YouTube eventually as content, so that people can sift through it and find all of the information from these research sessions for free. So yeah, constructed format. It does have its own Discord. It can use some membership, let me tell you. It is a fun game, but they don't have a whole lot of people just sitting around to play it, which is a shame because the creator's really cool. They're active in a lot of the other indie formats. Nice, good work. Glad you're already on the stick there. Got to keep your stick on the ice. So let's see, Leyland Highlander. They have, including me, 17 people online and 20 people that are offline. So they aren't even quite at 50 in their membership. And it's an interesting format. I'm trying to build my first bracket 1 deck. in Leylander. Um, I've been putting it off mostly because bracket one is about theme, and I have a hard time really bearing down on theme. That said, it's the only like real good theme I've ever gotten that I want to build around, and it's the Roller Crusher ride from Duskmorn, I think. That's going to be the enchantment that is in the command zone for me, because there's a really interesting little musical that my daughter was into real hard for a while called Ride the Cyclone. And it's about a group of high school kids that get on a roller coaster called the Cyclone and they die on it. And they have to basically square off against each other to figure out who's going to be the one who comes back from the dead and lives their life. It's a really interesting little musical, and I thought it'd be fun to build a deck that was a tribute to it. Haven't gotten around to it though, even though I've got about 20 cards pulled. So that's got to get done this year. It's one of my other goals is to have a deck for each of these Bluesky formats. So yeah, there's no host deck. It's 100 cards in your deck. No restrictions because it's an eternal format that's Singleton and follows the commander template. It is kitchen casual. You can play it on with the Discord people. Yeah, you play it in 4-player pods. Huh, I didn't know there was a ban list. Makes sense. I mean, there's got to be some enchantments that would be busted. Just nuts busted if you put them in the command zone. No sideboard, creator, date of creation, and they have a site. Heck yeah. Well, we'll keep on chugging then. Let's go back to the picture. By the way, if you're wondering what this is a picture of, I have a Bluesky feed that I'm working on and maintaining, and these are all of the inclusion tags for that feed. So anytime somebody posts and includes these tags in their post or in their alternate text on their pictures, it shows up in my feed. Makes it real easy to stay on top of news. Dude, how funny would it be if that guy got right back to me about MTG Pocket, like, within the hour? All right. Sitting here messing around. We are going on to Pilot. Oh, Pilot. Pilot is cool. Pilot caught a rules update last year with Edge of Eternities. And the rules update was that they decided you should be able to have a spaceship as part of your piloting fleet, and that spaceship would in fact exist in a zone outside of the game that was not the command zone. It is called the orbit zone, and once you control, I believe, both of your command zone elements. No, it's once you cast your second command zone element, if you control the first, you can put that orbit card right in your hand, like companion. That's a pretty cool, interesting idea. And even better than that, which this is why people want to watch this show, is I got to talk with Valerie Fatality about her format, and it is it is really neat. Her philosophy behind it was she just wanted to have fun in the same way that old EDH did, with slower games, less fast mana, but also she wanted to evoke all the fun she has with playing Gundam. So, pretty cool that you can just have fun in my Magic. Yeah, I mean, that's why all of these formats get made, because people aren't having fun in their Magic and they go, you know what? I can have some fun in my Magic for a change. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. So, constructed format indeed. It is active insofar as that the format creator is active and wants to see it grow and is not opposed to helping make it grow. Although their interest has waned slightly. You know, they have other card games, other hobbies, as we do all, and life goes on, and sometimes you make a thing and you're satisfied with it, and you just let it spin out there in the universe, you know? Popular? Yeah. I know of at least one streamer that gets on and plays Pilot. So that means there has to be at least four other people. And besides, I've got a deck, so it must be popular, right? They do have a Discord. That's 100% true. But I don't think they have a website, because I don't think they really need one, and I don't think that Valerie really wanted one. This was kind of a throw it up on Discord and be cool about it thing. Now, I don't know exactly how it plays though, so let's double check. See what happens. Well, there's a forum post. There's a Moxfield deck primer for a ban list and Pilot. That's cool. There's Valerie's X post. Okay, so let's start there. Interested on getting people's thought on a format similar to Commander. Bluesky app. Okay. Here's a Google Doc. Heck yeah. Google Doc. Has a ban list. Ooh, okay. That's something that needs to be. I think I need to tell Valerie that they need to take a look at their page, because they don't have orbit on here and it looks like their details are old. So that's going to be nice. That's something nice to do. In fact, I'm going to message Valerie right now. Yeah, I thought that was 100%. Okay, where's Val? Hey, doing my research show, comma, my format research show, and finishing up the entry for pilot. I noticed that the Moxfield entry seems very dated. Just thought I'd give you a heads up, comma. Hope you're having a good weekend. Cool. Hopefully that will serve Valerie well. It looks like something that I would want to update if it was mine. November 1st, 2024 is the launch date. So let's get that in there if we didn't. Okay. There we go. Now, pilot, I'm pretty sure is played in pods. I will double check that later, but I'm really sure it's played in pods with individual decks. No host deck. 80 cards in your deck. Rarity restriction card inclusion. None. That is a facet this doesn't take into account. These in pilot and like arsenal, there's a special requirement for what can and can't be the bonus piece that's in the command zone with you. And I haven't quite figured out how to express that yet in the data, but I think it's the only two so far that are different. We'll carry on. Pilot's Eternal. It is Singleton. Commander. It is Casual. It is Paper. Four-player pod. I think I saw she had a ban list. Yeah. No sideboard. And that's it. Pilot's done. Sweet. We're making good time. Get them all done before 5, and maybe we'll just wrap this session up early. We are on to Commander Sealed. We We've got Commander Sealed and Loyalty left to go. Well, Commander Sealed is an event, and that's 100% true. I'm not going to argue that one. But it is something of a conjoined format because it's Commander that you do strictly from sealed product. It's a limited event. It's a limited format, in my opinion. It's a different way to draft or construct. Actually, both. If you really think about it, you have to draft differently and construct differently in order to have a legal deck at the end. And that's most of the definition of being a format. So, yeah, it's totally an event. That's for sure, and a really fun one as I understand it. I've got a couple friends that are doing ambassadorships, I believe, to Commander Sealed. But yeah, I kind of like it to be its own. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'll end up going back and mashing some of these entries back in together. But the way I see it is having more data right now is way better than not having enough. So yeah, let's look into it like it's a thing, and we'll see what happens. Interesting. CommanderSealed.com top link says format primer. I mean, I'm not calling it a format. They're calling themselves a format. And that's how you know you arrived, when you feel comfortable calling yourself the thing, right? Like, I wasn't a content creator until Donnie called me one. Now I'm a content creator, I guess. So yeah, they call it a format. Who am I to disagree? Somebody would have told them they weren't by now, and they would have fixed it if I was wrong. Huh, I already had it completed. I was wondering why the link was purple. Well, one of the ways that I check the definition of a format is kind of like the same way that the scientific process works. If you can perform an experiment that proves your hypothesis, that means that somebody else ought to be able to reproduce your experiment to reprove your hypothesis. And formats work the same way, except the hypothesis is fun. I'm going to put these cards together in a certain way and play them a certain way, and that's going to be distinct and fun from everybody else. But is it a format? Well, I give you the formula, and you can go do it wherever you want to do it. You tell me if it's a format or not, then, right? If you can't get the fun to happen again, then maybe I didn't do it right. I think it'd be interesting to try to make it work for other environments. I mean, I don't think you can like go back in time to Onslaught block and and make it happen. But I would be interested in maybe somebody doing an Oathbreaker sealed from Lorwyn, like old Lorwyn, when we got Planeswalkers the first time. So that's kind of how I see it. If it's transferable knowledge and you can do the same thing again and get the fun again, you've probably got a format. And I've had people disagree with me that what they've got is a format or not. And I'm not going to tell them that they're right or wrong because I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Maybe once I get this whole thing finished, I'll know a lot better about who's right and who's wrong about what a format is and isn't. But wow, it's done. That's good news. Active, popular. I know they've got a Discord. Uh, Player minimums too, but because it's a sealed thing, you could have as many people as want to buy in or bring product or make the cube for it. 100 cards. Is it 100 cards? That seems like an awful lot to make from oh, yeah, no, it's a 100 card singleton. Oh, because you trade amongst your card pools. That's the other reason why it's a format because it's got a whole nother layer to it that's unique. Very few draft formats will let you swap. But in Commander Sealed, it's a total feature. It would be hard to get a 100 card singleton out of 6 packs if you couldn't swap. Oh, 12 packs. Okay, 12 packs is a little easier. Cool. Oh, I have 14 here. Okay, let's make sure we got it. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play in any unknown events, but a friend of mine, IRL, that plays has a box of Mystery Boosters 1, and while I was in Atlanta, I got the box of Mystery Boosters 2, which is, I understand, it has the same boosters in it basically from the unknown events. Either way, we're both holding out for him to produce the third in the series so that we can do a block draft. Well, I'm not saying I'm at a loss here, but I didn't quite expect to get all that done quite so quickly. Turns out I did some of the groundwork for myself, which is fun. So, yeah. We are, let's take a look at the clock here. We are 3 hours 48. So that would have been almost 3 hours total that we're on here. 1 to 4. That's not too bad, but I'm willing to go a little longer. I've got a full bar of things up here, which is just wild research that I've accumulated. As you can see, I've got team trios up here. So I'm definitely interested to see what we've got for that. Plus, everything that's not blue over here is something that we could be researching. But let's see. Oh, we're almost 8% of the way done. We started at like 6%. That's good work. Started with 30 complete entries, and we're up to 37. Have I cataloged value vintage? You know, let's go see. I have clocked value vintage, and there is its cousin $30 vintage, which is interesting. $30 value vintage. Let's get down to business here. Value vintage. Vintage, no value vintage. Do we have $30? $30 value vintage is up top here. Okay, if they're the same thing, then let's get to it. We've got some data already, which is nice. It's a constructed format. It is conjoined. It is vintage, but it also has a cap on it. A very normal cap for formats to have, which is dollar amount. And what's interesting about that, of course, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, is that if your deck gets good, parts of your deck could get banned because they're just too expensive to run. And that's hilarious. Now they've got a Discord, but they got more than a Discord. They are active and popular. I don't know about a website. Also known historically as the cheapo format. Whoever called it that? I'm sorry, we gotta find that out. Anybody? Anybody? I think people are making things up here. I'm kidding. It's come up like twice. But I have never once actually seen or heard somebody refer to $30 budget vintage as cheapo. Okay, okay. Well, Darren Magnotti is definitely referring to it as a cheapo format. That's hilarious. I did definitely see the link you dropped me. That's vvmtg.com. Okay, okay. Very cool. Let's copy that site.
Okay. Outside?
So I think we can leave off the $30. And then we will create a note here for $30 budget vintage, as well as cheapo. Oh, that's silly.
Outside? Yeah.
Let's see. We've got a price restriction, $30 deck total. Yep. Vintage, 4 of any non-basic land card. Okay, I see LGS casual here because I think I have seen some places where people are really getting it going. And yeah, I do have their Discord. Yeah, absolutely. I went into the events announcements, and there sure are events in many states that are recurring, such as in Ohio. You can catch games at Card Swarm. You can catch games at Deep Dive Games and Gaming Adventure. Delaware, Virginia, Indiana, Georgia, Missouri, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, New York, Arkansas, Massachusetts, Tennessee, and Florida. Let me tell you, I need to go find where Moe's Gaming Emporium is. That sounds like fun. So yeah, I'm going to say that that's definitely got some chops to it. And it's played in Eternal Weekend. Yeah, Eternal Weekend is really cool too. So, we're going to go with unsanctioned competitive because they are playing it competitively, but Wizards is not coming down and regulating it. Um, it's on the cusp of any table. I would be surprised if it's not digital yet. I wonder if you can. Certainly, you can play it on MTGO. It's probably not an arena thing yet, but not far off. There are some decks that are bugged. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, Professor had a feature on it. I'm not saying you've arrived when he's made a feature on it, but I do agree with his stances on where and how to play cards and what to pay for them, which is as little as possible and never from sealed product if you don't have to. Well, it's not quite ubiquitous, and if it's bugged on MTGO, that I'm not going to advertise that it's on digital. Someday I'll hear that they've got it fixed, and that'll be good enough. So, paper, head to head, ban list, sideboard. Ah, yeah, I don't envy trying to be a programmer, programming this game into any sort of digital platform. It's just so much. But where were we? 15 card sideboard. Creator credit. Lich's Mirror and Channel. Uh-huh. Woof. The only time that I'm really okay with somebody deciding they're going to take like a 10-minute turn is when they preface it with, there is a chance that when I whiff on this, I automatically lose the game. Because then if we're gonna take 10 minutes to see if you just scrub out, all right, I'm cool with that. That's funny. But if you're gonna win, just win, right? So yeah, there's the hang up. Creator credits. Let's go see where old value vintage came from. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things that just kind of cropped up out of the community, all agreeing together that wouldn't it be cool if we had a value limit? You judges love silly games where things get entangled and involved. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of Judge's Tower. It's one of the first formats that people hear whispers about, and they go, "Really? That's the way that people play?" Let's go see Prof. Let's see if he's got anything. Oh, oh, what is this? This place is almost retired. Okay. Yeah, that's the link to their new site. Cool. I don't think there's anything in here anymore. Nope. That's funny. Looks like January 17th, 2024 is like right about the time Value Vintage started up. I could be wrong on that, and that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Got a YouTube video. Oh, and it's the same one that I've already linked. That's good. Stop it. So we just need somebody to credit. AI hints that we can go and find a deck building challenge from Greater Cincinnati in 2016. Oh, hey, how's it going, Queen? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, we're doing great here. Congratulations on having a very fun CDEDH scream. And yeah, top deck gambling. No kidding. Yeah, we're almost done getting through all of the formats that call Bluesky home, and this is pretty much the last one. And we're on the last detail. We're trying to figure out who it was or when that Value Vintage came along. So we've got a couple of articles we're looking at. Born from a Store Eternal Masters promo, where anyone could build from the bulk. The budget began at 25 and rose to 30. Okay. They're citing Channel Lich's mirror right there. That's good times. Well, there's a lead. I can go speak with Everett and Darren. Not sure there's much more here for me down this page. But I do like this page. This is pretty good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, we need a little bit more information, but we're pretty much there. A Store Eternal Masters promo. Wonder if we can find what store. Oh, Thought Vessel, yeah. Okay, so Everett is maintaining the format as well, but not the creator. So far, it's just a nebulous store. Somewhere in Cincinnati. Oh, it was just Star City Games. Okay. We'll double check that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna credit Star City Games. Cincinnati. That is what it is. But I tell you what, an organizer as a corporation does not come up with an idea. They aren't people. They don't have ideas. People have ideas. Somewhere along the line, somebody piped up and said, well, why don't we just let them dig through the bulk to make some decks? Wouldn't that be fun? And that person is going to have that creator credit someday. But until I find them. Oh heck yeah, we've put in a good amount of work here. That's a lot of good stats that have come up. We are 8% done, almost 20% fields filled in. That's good work. I don't think I'm quite ready to sign it off, but yeah, I've definitely been having a good time doing this. I've learned a lot of things besides just what the stats on the page are. We've we've laughed. We've cried a little bit because we laughed so hard. Cheapo format. That's gonna get me every time. I'm gonna start calling these people the cheapo format. They're gonna get mad, 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 mad. Gonna go make your own MTG pocket now with hookers and blackjack. Wait, maybe forget the MTG. Yeah, I mean, I hope that you do take a look at that and go, huh, I could make this work. Give me a few minutes to sort out a ban list, and we could make something fun. Or not. Maybe it's supposed to be everything banned. Oh, everything banned, but joke's on you. Let's go see if I've got this one in the compendium. 10K BC. This is a funny format. It is a constructed modification, which means that it is not a standalone format. It is a modification rule set that you will apply to any applicable rule set that is freestanding, which he designed his to work with Commander. And the 10K stands for 10,000, obviously, and the B stands for bands. The C stands for Commander. This person is banning 10,000 cards and then calling it done and saying that they have completed their modification. You'll be able to play a new format of Commander where 10,000 problematic cards have been banned. At least problematic as they see it. Yeah, I've got a Discord link if you want to go there. Help him out. Yeah. Close out these value vintages. No, wait a second. I think I might have wanted that last page. Yeah, I'm not going to lose this one. This one's pretty good. Besides, I think Levi Perry is a friend of another friend of mine, and I want to keep that close. So let's go over here and put that also in the value vintage. There we go. Heck yeah. Yeah, I believe Levi is friends with Joe Kilcar. If I'm not mistaken, they do the Thought Vessel together. Shout out to Joe Kilcar. one of the biggest friends that we have for small format representation. He's out there playing pilot games. He's out there playing Pendragon games, and he's willing to do pretty much anything in terms of getting a cool format out there. So yeah, I mean, cool. What y'all want to do? Because we're pretty much winding it down here. I mentioned yesterday to Springer that I was going to be giving away some time, and what I'm going to do for you guys, if you have a format that you want me to research, it doesn't have to be today. You don't need to answer me right now. But if there's something you've always been curious about, let me know. I'm going to give you a 30-minute block live where we research it, dedicated, focused, and try to find everything out about it that we can. We're going to first fill out this compendium with all the information we find, and then everything else that we find, I'm going to aggregate with that, and I'm going to make it into a post and post it to the Bluesky Discord forum for alternative formats as a public service. So to reiterate, that's 30 minutes on a format of your choice. And I'm going to publicly post the results for you to enjoy and others to share in. And you're welcome to redeem that anytime. You can do that on Bluesky through the channels that I've got set up down at the bottom of the Discord. Or you can DM me. Any platform will do. Let's see. Am I forgetting anything while I'm promoting myself here? Oh, I do have a Ko-Fi. And I only say that because if people wanted to sponsor some research, i.e., they wanted to give me a direction to move in, all you do is you go to Ko-Fi and you donate $1. $1 is good enough. We'll start on it at some point in the very near future, and you'll have yourself a completed entry. Somewhere around $10, $5, I haven't decided yet. Your request converts into a commissioned research request, and it goes to the top of the list, and we go take care of it in a 30-minute block, exactly like what I've offered you today. And all these details will be posted. You'll be able to show your friends where they can come and support the show and the effort, and eventually, one day, we're going to publish this darn thing. Make it a real community resource. But for now, let's burn up the rest of our time getting into the weeds here on some of these links that I've got. So I've got a whole bunch of open research here, just waiting to get done. Like team trios. What the heck are team trios? Didn't even put them in yet. So, team trios play 3 individual matches that contribute to a match result. Huh. Well, it's interesting. 3 best-of-3 matches played simultaneously. Yeah, I've done this before, basically when we're like wanting to draft, but we've only got 6 people. Like, it's okay. The only problem I have with it is like the timing. Because if you're the worst player on the team, then you are incentivized to play the slowest. That way, hopefully your teammates beat their opponents faster than you can lose. And I don't know if that's a fun gamification, but whatever. It's it's a way to play and a way to construct, and I suppose if somebody wanted to make a league and really try to figure out a meta, maybe there is some work to be done there, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to call it an edge case. And usually what I do with these things is I'll just put them in the format compendium anyway. And if I decide later that it's too similar to something else or it doesn't really stand alone, we just delete it. So, okay, let's just do it. Team trios. Team trios is limited or constructed. Team trios is I think it's a format. The odd player count kind of seals that deal. It's not 2 formats put into one. It's not a modification. Well, you could argue it's a modification, maybe. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold the phone. Hold the phone here. I just looked at the URL line, and this is Lorcana team trios. So let's just hold on here for a minute. I think I just got baited. I read the whole thing, and quite honestly, what would be the difference? Like, I'm no Lorcana player, but I played a match or two with the precons. The difference is you are incentivized and able to play faster, I think, in Lorcana. I don't know. I probably should just exclude it because it's something that was designed for a different game. Well, it does have a slow play rule, so you know what? Yeah, we're just going to keep on with it because I don't see why you couldn't play it in Magic. Yeah, Magic's resource system can slow you down if you try to translate in other games. That's true. I'm no expert on Lorcana, but the way I understand it is they play a lot like playing your lands face down in a lot of modes. So if you've got cards in your hand that you want to make into a resource, you simply ink them. And some cards are inkable and some cards are not inkable. Kind of like how we have MDFCs, except many more of their cards are able to become a land. So I it's because of the last line. If a player leaves the table unsanctioned or for an extended period of time without justifiable cause, they return to their match as a spectator and may no longer participate in their teammates' games. So you can't just slow roll if you apply this to Magic. You have to keep playing. I'm going to include it, and I'm just going to include it with the asterisk that it's for Lorcana. That no, if I do that, I don't think anybody's even playing this. They have a Discord. I wonder if I'm in their Discord. Hmm. No, I wasn't. Huh. Okay, cool, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it, and it's gonna be fine, and I'm good. It's a format. Let's see. So, it's got a site. I don't know if anybody actually plays this even in Lorcana. That's not where that goes. Okay, you've got individual libraries and sealed individual libraries. No host decks. Player decks need to be 40 cards. Yeah. Actually, you don't need to put that. It's none. It's none. None's fine. Card copy limits. Table types. Paper. Draft pod. Yeah, head-to-head draft pod. Let's see, sideboard. Oh, okay. I don't even know why I consternated over it. Apparently it's been a thing for Magic the Gathering all this time. They just decided to put Lorcana right there in the URL to really mess me up. That's okay. It happens. Oh, that's a little bit different. Well, we're going to go with the real entry then. Let's start here. Ah, they should have called this format one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. That would have been fine. Excuse me. Let's see. We need to go over here. Interesting. So what I just discovered was that Team Trios has been going on for a while now. Apparently, in Magic the Gathering, they do it a little differently, which is cool. I like this. We're going to have to do a little bit more research, but we're getting there. We're always going to have to do a little bit more research. Oh, they do Team Trios and Flesh and Blood too. That's cool. Yeah, no kidding. Top 16 for sure. Baltimore, team trio constructed. Cool, but this doesn't get me any closer. Oh, they're doing 3 different ones. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, that's unified, which is different. Let's go back to the beginning here. So, this is not sealed limited, it's constructed only. It's not a format, it's a conjoined format. Because it's 3 formats in a trench coat. It does not have a site because it's a concept. Therefore, it has no socials. Um, yeah, I think it's still 6v6 or 3v3. Yeah, it's still 3v3. So that's good. Individuals, host decks. Three decks. 3 legal. Okay. There's nothing specific for that. Kitchen casual paper, head to head. All right, so we're still stuck at creator credit, but now at least it's good. Entry looks correct. It's been played competitively too. Wonder if I put that in there. I don't think I did. I think I discounted it. Okay, first featured at the 2011 World Championships, which means that probably Wizards of the Coast thought this up as a team. Okay, well, it looks like team. Okay, yeah, so there's team unified and teams. So there's team limited. Okay, so yeah, there's three different things here. Got it. There's team limited, team unified constructed. There's also limited, there's also unified limited, right? Team sealed and team draft. Okay, so it's none of the swapping that we were talking about. Okay. So we're really managing a team limited, a team unified constructed, and team trios, which we just did team trios. Exploring the myths of team limited. Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't see it. So this one is just going to get credited to Dr. Richard Garfield. We'll just credit it to Wizards. That means we've got team constructed. We're getting there. The win is not so much, but at least we got the who. Fair enough, fair enough. I don't think there's too many more of those. There wasn't a whole lot that he developed specifically. Yeah. Do. Well, we're just going to end up having to deal with taking an approximation. So GP Con was late February. GP Frankfurt was April, June. So GP Con would have been the first time, looks like. And that's for Team Limited. Team Limited. It's in 2006. Okay. So team trios constructed came around in January 2018 is what we're going to do. There we go. Team trios is done. And while we're at it, we're going to go up here and get the other two teams. Okay. I don't think they've been done since. Oh, Team Limited was done in 2026. So I think Team Unified Constructed has waned in popularity. I don't think it's gone away. We'll call it active. And we'll give Team Limited a bump because that showed up in 2026 on the schedule here. It's going to be in Las Vegas in June. That's ridiculous. I'm interested to see how that goes. We've got Team Limited going on in Vegas and Brussels this year. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to call it popular until I see a community swell up around it. It's not popular. Main social links. There are no social links here because there's no community that I've found yet. Player minimum. Yeah, we're still doing them teams of 3, so gotta have 6 people total to make this happen. Okay, so there's individual libraries for the first one. There are sealed individual libraries for the second one. Okay. Into the minutia. Okay, unified construct is going to be Okay, if I'm using host format here, then this isn't a format on its own. This is an expansion. Team Limited, by extension, is also an expansion. So Team Trios is different because it's 3 different decks in a trench coat. So I feel more comfortable with that. Yeah, we'll go host format here too. No, actually that one probably has actual rules. Team limited. Teams receive 12 booster packs to build 3 decks. So, 40 card decks. Three decks and unified constructed. Okay. Oh, you can't put none there. None doesn't work. Okay. Team unified constructed. Sanction competitive. It's at World Cups and GPs. Like, there's no other way to call it. I don't think that people are playing it at LGSs casually. It's not something you just kind of do at home. But I mean, I could understand if anybody wanted to just kind of play that way. It's good times. Okay. Yeah, sanction competitive. Those are things that you will find out there in the world. Didn't I see that Team Trios was also competitive? I don't think it was. I think it's just fine that way. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't think they've figured out a way to make them digital yet. Though what I will say is that since they were regulated, they were WPN at one point, or at least DCI. All right, Team Unified Constructed and Team Limited are head-to-head. The difference being is we have a draft pod for the Team Limited. The host format ban and restriction list works there. Yeah, that's what I was using. Unplayed remainder. Oh, goodness. we're just about at the end of the show here. In fact, we've just run over time. So I'm going to finish up what I'm doing here. Make sure we don't have a sideboard for this, and then we're going to pack it up for the day. All right, yeah, it doesn't look like they use a sideboard. But I suppose the host format would determine that. Okay, that's 2 more complete entries. Fantastic work, everybody. I really appreciate the help today. We've made huge strides. Yeah, we're so close to 10% done. It hurts. We've accomplished more than 10 complete entries, and I don't know what else to say. It's rousing success as far as I'm concerned. Looking forward to seeing you all not next week, but the week after. This show is going to be airing every other week for 2 hours, not 4. This was an extended session. Wanted to make sure that anybody who had the opportunity to show up could, and we did that today. I'm glad you guys had a lot of fun, and I do definitely look forward to seeing you all again. I think the last thing I've got to plug here is my radio show. I'm going to get up in just a moment. I'm going to take a break. Then I'm going to go pull 5 albums out of my album storage here to my right. And those 5 albums are what I'm going to play on Wednesday when I invade some small format in their Discord to play music for 4 hours while I do my TCG chores. And you are welcome to attend. You're going to have to get on the Bluesky and go find my Inner Sleeves page in order to get those program updates and find out where I'm going to be. But thank you again for joining me here on this exclusive show only on Gerudo. Sure, you'll be able to get the results on YouTube after a while, but you got to wait for me to edit it, I guess, and post it. And I'm not in any hurry to do that sort of thing because I'm about the research. Still, I'm gonna eventually. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a good weekend. Thanks for joining me. And I'm signing off.